Yo, what is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another JC2K video. In today's video, we are going to be doing a ranking of every single Swift card that came out today from worst to best here in NBA 2K26 MyTEAM. Just going through talking about the good cards and the bad cards in this drop. Before we hop into it, if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Help me push towards the 50,000 subscriber mark on the channel. I upload every single day. Multiple videos a day. Would really appreciate it if y'all do subscribe. Without further ado, let's get into it. Unfortunately, this week, I think the three worst cards are the three WNBA cards, to be completely honest. I think the worst one's probably this Brianna Jones. 6'3" power forward. Can't dunk either. I don't know how you're supposed to use a 6'3" power forward that can't dunk. I'm sorry. It's just not going to work. Plain and simple. That's not a card that I think anybody's going to run. This Natasha Cloud is actually not completely atrocious. If she was like 6'1", I'd have her over several cards on this list. At 5'10", no dunking. I mean, the defense is actually pretty good, but I don't know. It's just so small. It's really hard to use a card of that size, even with good stats and good badges. And the honest truth is, the rest of the Amethyst PGs, the NBA players, at least have some size, which I think does help them out comparatively, in all honesty. And then Katie Smith, same story. I mean, 5'11" at shooting guard. Honestly, that's even worse in terms of size. 5'11" at shooting guard versus 5'10" at point guard. Natasha Cloud might actually have an argument as being better than this card, to be totally honest. But the shooting badges for Katie Smith are really good, and I think her jumper's pretty good too. The problem is she's just too small to be any good as an overall card, unfortunately. I don't think any of those cards can really be run because of how small they are. I think they're going to be kind of liabilities. Height isn't the most important thing in this game, but when it comes to 5'10", 5'11" cards or 6'3" power forwards, it's going to be tough. DeAndre Jordan is my next worst card. 75 speed, non-shooting big is not what you're looking for, and he's not even that huge. I just don't think he's particularly good at all, to be totally honest. The same can kind of be said for Hassan Whiteside. Can technically shoot and is a little bit bigger player build-wise than DeAndre Jordan is, while actually being slightly slower, but can hit a mid-range, can occasionally hit a three. Jumper's still bad, still not very good as an overall card, but the size does help, and I think the ability to at least kind of make an open shot occasionally probably puts him above DeAndre Jordan. Juan Carlos Navarro at least is tall and is going to be a good shooter, but as a total non-defender also does not have much slashing ability. Great jumper though, Patty Mills base and upper. The base especially is incredible. I do think this card is decent offensively, good offline card anyway. Online though, again, total lack of defense, lack of finishing, and really not much movement either. Just a good jump shot, but that's about it. Isn't enough for Juan Carlos to be a very good card. The same can kind of be said for Emmanuel Quickly, another guy who has a good shot, although it's not as good as Patty Mills, but a good shot. But again, not very good defensively. Only 6'2", 75 driving, slightly better finisher than Juan Carlos is. But even though I think he might be a little bit better than Juan Carlos Navarro, still not a very good card. I think both of them are kind of bad too. There's a few, maybe 4 or 5 more actually like pretty bad cards, I'd say, left on this list. Gary Trent is a great shooter with good speed, but no defense at all, which I think is a little unfair to Gary. He's not the defender he used to be, but I think he's a decent defender. He's definitely competitive in real life. Got some feistiness to him for sure still. And his jumper's good this year. Jalen Brunson escape, Kemba dragback. If he was like competent defensively, I think he'd be really good. The problem is he's got 50, 61, 73, 40 on the defensive end of the court as a 6'5" shooting guard. That's terrible. I don't think this card's very good. I can't put him any higher than that. Next up is Grady Dick, who is also a non-defensive shooting guard, but at least is a little bit bigger than Gary Trent Jr. is, 6'6" instead of 6'5". But again, still, defensive stats are better as well, but not an incredible defender, not an incredible finisher. Pretty good shooter, but again, not crazy fast. Just not a super impressive card, I don't believe, in his own right. And then Ed Davis, I believe, is one of the is the final like really bad. Well, there's a couple bad diamonds as well, I guess, left, but the final bad Amethyst anyway. 6'10" with a 7-foot wingspan. At least he's fast. He's not horrible defensively. Good finisher, but 57 3 ball, 72 speed kind of hurts, especially. I mean, Ed Davis' jumper's actually good, but no movement at all. And despite having a good jumper, I just don't think a 57 3 ball is going to be consistently makeable. Not to mention still missing a good amount of badges. Only 13 total badges as a base card. I don't think Ed Davis is very good either. Next up is Nikola Mirotic. This Nikola Mirotic card, 6'10" with a 7'2" wingspan, at least is tall at small forward, but is also slow. Not a great finisher, not a great defender. Mainly just a shooter, and also doesn't even have that good of a jumper. Default big upper kind of kills that jump shot. I don't think Mirotic is very good either. And then finally, the last like actually bad card on this list, I think, is Jordan Poole. 6'4" with a 6'7" wingspan. Offensively, honestly pretty similar to Emmanuel Quickly, Juan Carlos Navarro from earlier, except a bit better good playmaking and shooting ability. Still not a great finisher, but defensively, again, a total liability, and that is why Jordan Poole is pretty low on this list as well. We finally get to the first like decent card. I still don't think Tony Snell is great, but I think he is better than everybody else we've looked at so far, at least. 6'7" with 6'11" wingspan, has decent speed, pretty decent defense, good shooter. Not the greatest finisher and not crazy fast or anything, but is at least competitive enough as a 3-and-D option. Has decent size at shooting, or pretty good size too at shooting guard at 6'7", so not bad. And then Scoot Henderson is super fast, great finisher, and a decent defender too. Just happens to only be 6'3" with a 6'7" wingspan, and I don't think his jumper's that great. It might be better this year though. I have not shot with him yet. I think he's probably okay. I don't think he's amazing, but he will be fun to use. So Scoot Henderson, not a terrible card either. Next up is, and I feel bad putting this card this low because I really like him in almost every way, but Luol Deng. Despite awesome stats, really good versatility, solid complete badges as well, I just can't put this card any higher than this because the base is, or sorry, the upper, D-Mitch upper does not go that well with Ed Davis. It's just not a very good jump shot, honestly. It doesn't flow well together, and the movement is nice, but I'm telling you, the shot is not good. I expected it to be better than it was, to be totally honest. What I did gameplay with this card was definitely a little disappointed by Luol, because otherwise he's a great card, but I can't put him any higher than that, I don't think. I'm not including Donovan Mitchell, by the way, just because he's a moments card. He's not in packs, so that's why I'm skipping over him. But Derek Queen is going to be next up. If this card had more badges, he'd be unbelievable. Good speed for a big, solid versatile defense, decent finisher, great jump shot as well. Not to mention Defox cross, Curry escape, jaw escape, Curry behind the back, I should say. Elite level SIGs. This card is such an interesting, fun, good big man in terms of a guy who can actually put the ball on the floor, has a really good jumper, all that type of stuff. He just doesn't have enough badges. That's why he's lower, a little lower on this list than I think he would be otherwise. That being said, everyone else on this list is a really, really good card. So do have to keep that in mind as well. But I do think this card, I mean, Derek Queen is an absolute beast. No doubt about it. And honestly, animation-wise, he's better than Chris Webber, who I have next on the list. Webber's just more complete stat and badge-wise by far. I feel like I have to give Webber the edge. He's just significantly better on paper, you know what I mean? But I do think animation-wise, it actually favors Derek Queen. Jumper for Webber's kind of eh. That Paul George escape is super nice, but the rest of his SIGs aren't particularly great. Jumper's not horrible. He's definitely a good card, but I don't think he's that insane. There's a reason he's pretty inexpensive for a pink diamond. It's because he's just not that great of a card for a pink diamond. Still a good card, but not unbelievable. Robert Covington is next up for me. Pure 3-and-D and elite at that. He has a better jumper than Luol Deng does, in my opinion, for sure, and is an incredible defender and a decent finisher in his own right. Very nice stats and badges. Still a great card. Doesn't have much in terms of movement, but that's okay. I still think Roko's a great option as well. Got him in the top 4. Number 3 is going to be Russell Westbrook, who the best Russell Westbrook card legitimately we've seen in a while in 2K. 6'4" with a 6'8" wingspan. We knew he's going to be crazy fast, an elite slasher, good perimeter defender, but he's got decent interior, decent 3-ball, good shooting badge as the base card. In fact, really good for Russ. And most importantly, his jumper is just awesome this year. Best jumper that Russ has had in a while in 2K. He is really, really, really good this year. Number 2, though, is Stephon Castle. Stephon, I just got to give him the edge over Russ with those extra 3 inches of height. Still a great slasher in his own right. A versatile quality defender, solid shooter. Jumper isn't as good as Russ's is, but that's not that big of a deal to me. You know what I mean? I still think he gives you a lot of size, versatility, switchability, defense, slashing. Just overall, still a really good card, and that's why I have Stephon Castle at number 2. That being said, the number 1 card on this list probably doesn't come as a huge surprise to most of y'all, if not all of y'all. Kristaps Porzingis, I think, is the best card from today's drop. 7'2" with a 7'6" wingspan with 80 speed, 93 3, 90 standing, and 80 driving dunk. Defensively very good. Has good strength as well, which is nice. This card is very, very similar to Wemby, especially considering Wemby is not uncontestable this year. Has that better strength rating as well. I think KP is a top 4 center in my team for sure. You could argue him higher than that. I think he's at least top 4. He's the best buyable big in my team besides Wemby, although I seriously would say he's basically just as good as Wemby. I truly do believe that this year. That being said, I think Hakeem and Embiid might still be better. This is a great drop. Into a solid drop. Has a good amount of depth, couple good budget cards, couple good affordable options like Roko, and Castle will be affordable as well. At the same time, not quite as exciting as last week, but that's okay. That is going to do it for today's video. I hope y'all did enjoy. If you did, make sure you hit that like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. I'll be back with more 2K content very, very soon. I appreciate y'all. Peace.